Okay, so this video is a how-to video on how to measure your nails for press-ons. My nails are rough, so it's perfect. I haven't done my nails for some time, so yeah. So what you're going to need, I'm going to do two methods. So what you're going to need is a ruler, a centimeter ruler, an inch ruler, but that has the centimeters. We're only going to use these because these are the millimeters. That's what we need. We're going to need a notepad, a pen, some tape. Now the optional ones are a filer, a cuticle pusher. Okay, so first we're going to write our left and right hand. We're going to put thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. And the same thing here. I'm going to put that to the side. Now, what I need this for, I didn't really need a cuticle pusher. It's just for this tool. It's for this. You see this little thing that goes up? It's extra nail that we do not need. So let me make sure I get a good thing. Nail I do not need. You see it goes up. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that little piece. So now as you can see, the extra piece is gone. Okay, and now we do the other side. All of that we need to remove. That piece is gone. The first method is just going to be with the centimeter ruler and a pen. I use a pen to make a line on my side walls. You could use a pencil, a lead pencil, anything thin enough. I find with a pen, sometimes it stays on your nails and it's difficult sometimes to take it off, but to each his own. I don't really mind. So I'm going to go ahead and do it with a pen. So this is where I put it. I put a little bit on my skin, but that I would take off because we're not measuring skin. Let me just do a little bit more there. And there we go. And now I do it on the other side. I will say I do have clips. It makes it more easier for me sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. You do it however you want. It's not that serious, but then again, if you're gonna buy press-on nails, you want it to fit perfect, right? So there we go. I did that side and this side. Okay, so now that I have both sides, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to use a centimeter side of it. And I am going to line them up. You can line it up in any number. You don't have to start. I just suggest you start it in one of the long lines, because from this line to another long line is already 5 millimeters. So it's easy to just count 5, 10, and then the little ones if necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up. I'm just trying to get real lined up because a millimeter matters, half a millimeter matters. Sometimes it does not matter when you put the nail on. And honestly, when you paint with gel or if you do acrylic, it shrinks the nail sometimes. So you just want to get your millimeters at least right on the dot. You know, So I get it from there, and that to me is lined up. It's just when I go right here and I pull down, sometimes it moves it. Okay, so right there looks fine. Now I'm going to pull my skin back down a little bit and pinch in there, make sure it's good. Okay, so now it's 5, 10, 11, 12 is what I got. So now I got 12, and that was my ring finger on my left hand. So that is 12 millimeter. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do the tape method. So you just get a piece of tape. This is too long. I don't know what I did. Just like long enough for your finger. You put it on your finger and you just pinch in the side and pinch in the other side. Now this is essentially the same thing. It's the same method. Tape is just, for me, I find it, you will see. Okay, so let me just, okay, so that's what I did. Now I take it off and I line it up with my ruler. So I pick any line that I want, as long as it's not a big line. I line it up and I just press. Do not wipe, do not slide, because it will wipe off the thing. Now, but sometimes the lines are slanted when you take it off, so it's not in this one, it's in this one. So I'm gonna count. It's 5, 10, this will be 15, so -1 is 14. So I am a 14, which I know in this I am a 14.5. So I'm gonna try the first method now, but with the tape measure it comes to 14. Now what you do with the tape measure, if you do it this way, you kind of will just, my thumb, my left hand, I guess I'll put it right here, and I'll put 14 on the thumb, whatever. Okay, so now let's do the method of just doing it straight with the pen on your finger. Okay, so everything is clean, there's no buildup. Okay, okay, fair enough, good. So now I take my measure and I measure away. Right, let me make sure everything is lined up. It's lined up, and that right there is 14.5. So I do suggest, because when I was starting off measuring the nails, the press-on nails, whatever it was, I did do the tape measure because that's where I see everywhere to do. But for some reason, it was just off. I hate the tape measuring, plus, I take out that step of doing the tape. I like this method more. I like it more. The only thing is, like I said, try to do it with a pencil so you won't stay with these black lines. It's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. So yeah. So I know I'm a 14.5. So the reason, let me just explain the reason why I take out the buildup is also because I found myself when I had buildup and I would do it with the pen, it would kind of like do like a crooked line or just wouldn't do the line like it should be. And also too, if you notice when I was doing this side, it's just extra nail that you might count it as a millimeter because it might come out to more of a millimeter, and that's not your exact fit. So I suggest just cleaning your nails a bit and doing this method of with a pen, and it works out way better. But do it to each his own. Just measure good. Just measure correctly. I suggest, because people don't have the time or whatever it is, I don't know. But if you have the time, just measure your nails. Once you do it, you already have your measurements. And word of advice, when you buy press-ons from somebody, their numbers, when you give them the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, however their numbers are set up, their numbers are not going to be the same as the next person because all the nails are different. So every time I read somewhere that says, oh, to give me your number and this and that, if you know your number, they fail to mention that if you know your number for their specific nails, like from them, so on my website, I really just go by millimeters. I don't go by the numbers. There's really no point for me. Millimeters is what we're going at. Millimeters. Don't give me no 0, no 1, no nothing, because at the end of the day, if you never bought anything with me and you bought it with somebody else, a 0 is not going to be the same as my 0. You'd be lucky if I had the same nail brands, so word of advice, just do millimeters. So once you measure your nails and you are set, and that's the nails, that's the millimeters, for sure those are your numbers, keep them. So yeah, I hope it goes better than it did for me, because when I started this was the biggest stress ball. But I swear this method made it way easier, and this got me through when everything kept changing up. This one stayed more consistent than any other ones. And I do want to say I did try the method of putting a coin and taking a picture. I did it with myself a few minutes ago, and it did not work out. I assume when you take a picture, and people that have curvy nail beds, you can't do it by the picture because you're not accounting their curved nails. For flat beds, yes. Now for me, for my nails, as you can see how curved, and this one's more flat, but this was curvy and stuff like that. Even with my nails, I took the picture and I put the nails, the specific nail that I will use, my press-on nails that I know fit me for this finger. I put it on the picture, I expand the picture, I put it on the picture, and it still had space on the side. So if it would have been a client that sent me that picture, I would have been like, no, this is not the nail. Let me put it back. Let me get a bigger size. So then I decided to put the bigger size on the picture. And when I took it on and I put it on my finger, it was just too big. So word of advice, some stuff does work for some people, because there's a specific kind of nails, specific kind of press-on nails, but it does not work for all. So for me, it didn't work. So I did not include this in this video because I didn't like it, because I couldn't get it to work for me. So just a word of advice. So yeah, try it out and hope that you get your numbers better than I did.